Hello, everybody. I am joined by Andy Black, and it is such an honor to meet you. I almost didn't even recognize you in the field. You're looking
saying I look old?
I'm saying you're looking svelte.
I mean, what? I look old. Is that it?
You are looking like a skinny mini, is what I'm saying. Are you on some sort of like fitness program, or what's going on? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah. No. I just had a couple of young kids.
That'll do
I
it.
have a 2-year-old, a 3-month-old. So I realized, there was an imperative not to die
Oh yeah.
too soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to die anyway, as all of you are.
Everyone.
Right? Everyone's going to die, right? But I was trying to, give myself the best chance of not dying too quickly. So I got a bit fit over the last few years.
Well, I hope they appreciate that. Cool dad, guys, by the way, that he realizes that. So shout out to my dad. Get it together. What are you doing?
Get fit, you fat. Okay? Lay off it.
Yeah.
Do a bit more.
Yeah. Get in
And
the
less
gym,
of...
sleep a little bit, do some stuff. Well, I think you're one of the very few players that still exist and that are still around who are still
I'm one of the very few players that still exist.
Wait,
I
stop.
love that.
He
That's
doesn't.
so
I knew he was
existential.
going to take
Is
the
that-
piss
is
out of me.
That's so existential. Yeah, it's my Buddhist background, and people are always trying to
They're
connect
always
with
trying
me. So they say things like that, and you just got to roll with it. Yeah, I'm one of the players that exists.
Yes.
You heard it here.
Right. He still exists, and he hopefully does until the inevitable death. But in the interim, you are one of the few players that can say that they, have seen the evolution of poker and really truly have been at the top of the game for a very long time. And I think there's always this talk about, being able to say you played with Stu Unger is really cool, but this talk about sort of how poker has changed, the glasses and hoodies, there's definitely some good things and some bad things about it. And I wanted, from someone who really has a valid perspective, what are some of the shifts that have happened that you like to see, and some that you wish maybe we could go backwards a little bit?
Well, actually, the hoodies and glasses seem to have changed for the better in the last sort of few years. So there was a period where it was kind of extremely intense with that, and now it's sort of shifted. It starts shifting slowly to something a bit less disguised. It's always nice to have a bit of communication, but not if it's bloody inane and repetitive and annoying. So if there was a bit more of that, but I mean, I find in nearly every table I'm on that's what's happening, but I think I'm instigating it.
Yeah, you're bringing it.
I don't know. The young always overthrow the old, That's how life is, The young just murder the old, I'm just like a fossil now,
He's fit fossil, though.
Watch
out.
So it's kind of like, that's how it is, So I don't think I wouldn't really want to change anything. What I'm happy about myself is, for quite a few years, I was probably not so kind of hungry and interested as I am now, but I started trying to play some big tournaments again, which I haven't much for quite a few years. And I'm really enjoying it and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And in this tournament, I played so badly, so often, during it. I've had hours and hours of playing badly. I've made mistake after mistake. And the fact that I've still got chips is a testament to, well, it's a testament to luck, but also you get so many chips in this tournament that you can actually play really badly for quite a bit and still come back,
It's a fantastic structure if you're patient. And on that same front, I think there's this big movement with a lot of the younger guys moving into meditation and being more present, being, more aware. And I think that's something that you have been doing for a long time and have been talking about for a long time. So is it interesting to see that shift?
Well, yeah, I mean, about 10 years ago, I kind of said a lot of people would be getting into that kind of stuff. And actually, in the last few months, I've done all sorts of stuff with working with the mind, but I've started doing mind coaching for people. I started in Nottingham. I've actually been speaking to a lot of people here. And it's basically everything else that isn't the poker that would make someone an optimum poker player, as well as a kind of cool person. That's the vibe of it, So I've been working with all sorts of people, some of the very high stakes games, lower stakes games, bit of everything. And it's one of the kind of bucket list of things that I wanted to do, which was to put all my skills together and kind of use them in the poker world to kind of optimize people's games and make them a bit happier.
It's wild when you see at the end of your journey how you can put everything together in a way you never would have seen before. But let's just say there's some people, watching this who would be really interested or would like to reach out to you. How can they find you?
Well, they can just have to try and find me. You're going to have to come to one of these things.
Dude.
You're going to have to say hello.
I'm
not even sure whether I want one of these websites or anything like that. I think word of mouth is sort of maybe fine, That sets up a different kind of vibe. you know. So maybe I'm a bit old school like that.
I was just going to say, true old school genius.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that I might go that way, but I'm resistant to kind of like doing it and promoting it. I think basically I'd like to promote it by, you know, people who've worked with me will either say, hey, that was good, or it wasn't. And
like you need a secret
spread
password
the word,
if you want to get
spread the word. So you know, turn up to one of these events, try and find somebody who's done a bit of work with me, or have a chat with me yourself, and let's see what happens. At the moment, it's probably cheap because I'm messing around with it, but it's going to get real expensive, especially if you're loaded.
You want to get in on the ground floor.
Pro bono work. We'll be doing pro bono work. It'll be like this. If you're broke, it'll be cheap. Yeah. If you're rich, I'm gonna absolutely fleece you.
I love this guy. I love this guy. True OG. All right. Well, I'll give you. You still have 6.5 minutes on your break. Andy Black. I'm Sarah Herring. Thank you guys so much. Don't click away from PokerNews.com.